Well, we meet again, Rams fans. This is the First and Tuna podcast where every week we break down film. This is our all-22 episode covering two topics. One, we're going to look at some of the defensive secondary against the Lions in Week 15. There was a lot of big plays given up to Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. A lot of people are pointing the fingers at the cornerbacks. Upon further review, there's some technique issues, there's some coverage calls issues, and just mistakes made by safeties as well that make the corners look worse than they actually played in some instances. In other instances, yeah, they fucked up a little bit. So we're going to dive into that, but then also we're going to look at my favorite topic. You guys know I have been the lead on the Matthew Stafford for MVP campaign trail since late September. We're coming down the final stretch. I want to look at not just his play, but the offensive line too, and some of the play calling, the schemes. There's some fun stuff that we saw against Detroit that we're hoping to see against Seattle to further advance their chances to clinch that number one seed in the NFC and a first round bye in the playoffs. That being said, please like and subscribe, do all those button things that I'm supposed to tell you as a YouTuber because that helps me as an independent. Before we dive into the film though, I did want to laugh at one thing with you guys. I posted yesterday on Instagram that I don't think the drop-off, if Devonta Adams can't go against Seattle, I think the drop-off is going to be as dramatic as fans think because of the rest of the wide receiver room. Xavier Smith, Konate Mumfield, Jordan Whittington, Tutu Atwell. I think they're going to complement really well. Matthew Stafford always elevates even the worst-looking receivers, let alone a very talented group like this. One comment, though, left me in stitches. That 14 personnel is going to hit like my mom. Kudos to you, sir. Yeah, that was my post of the week. That was my comment of the week that I saw. That made me giggle and chuckle because we're at a point now with Sean McVay where he just wants all the tight ends. If you're a tight end, get on the field. You used to play tight end in high school, get out there. Matthew Stafford, off the field. We're putting another tight end out there. Screw 13 personnel. We're going 04 personnel, questionably 05 personnel because we're going to start replacing everyone with tight ends. Defense, more tight ends. That's how much Sean McVay has been loving his tight ends. But film, yes. First, let's look at the defensive secondary because I think it is warranted. There's a lot of concern. People are worried that it's going to be a fatal flaw in the playoffs, and I just don't think that. But yeah, so let's just dive into it. First things first, I'm the realist. First play here, we have got some Emmanuel Forbes action. I'm only drawing that out to make sure my pen is working. Please forgive me. Yeah, opening drive is 13:46 on the clock. 1st and 10 for the Lions. They like to come out in this special package where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 linemen. This is Dan Skipper. If you remember him, he had that infamous no touchdown call that got called back against Lions a few years ago against Dallas. Very controversial. But max protection. I want you to watch two guys on this play. I'm going to run it through once. We're watching Emmanuel Forbes down here at the bottom on Jameson Williams. And then Cam Curl as well. Potentially Jalen McCullough. I just want you to, I'm going to run through this play and then you let me know what you guys see. The action from Goff. Ooh. Gives it the big pass. That is a, 22-yard first down. Big gash play. Something that we don't like seeing this Rams defense give up, especially when there's not a lot of pressure happening. So what JMO ends up running here, deep crosser. First thing I notice on this is Emmanuel Forbes. His stance as he opens up, giving up the inside of the field. He's covering the back. Looks like he's going to cover deep. Outside leverage here. I mean, that's just... You have to assume that Emmanuel Forbes is just so bad at football that he's just doing whatever, opening that he wants to do intentionally, when that's just not the case. This looks like a man opening, expecting help over the top, which, based on Cam Curl's first step being back right here, I'm assuming it's maybe a type of cover one because you got man up top here on Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. This being a 6 lineman package, I have a hard time thinking they're going to run zone primarily against this. But what ends up happening is the play action is so good, I don't think Cam Curl can see Jared Goff still with the ball. He steps up way aggressively up here. And then puts skates on, and then he's like, oh shit. Jalen McCullough as well. Tank McCullough right here. He gets sucked up a little bit, and then right as he stops and puts the brakes on, he's going to notice Cam Curl is with him. So he looks this way. There's Cam Curl. Immediately will turn around like, oh shit. Oh no. So for a lot of fans, man coverage, there's a lot more to it than just, hey, you need to stick to your guy, stick to your man, play better, play tighter. You still have help over the top. Rarely are you just going to run a cover zero where you're bare bones by yourself. Cover one in this instance, if it is cover one and I'm not completely wrong, you're hoping that you got Cam Curl sitting deep a little bit, helping out most dangerous. So that way he can choose and decide if he thinks Amon-Ra St. Brown on this one or J-Mo on this route needs more help. As he sees these routes coming, if he's positioned back here, he should see like, okay, it looks like Jameson Williams has a step on him. Now he's able to help out and negate that, make Jared Goff hold the ball, force a disruption, maybe get an interception, but he doesn't. He's not in position. And if this is cover one and not cover two over the top, I'm going to give Tank McCullough the benefit of the doubt. If he's sitting underneath here, at that point, whoever's most dangerous crossing his face, he's either going to redirect or maybe trail and help out as well. But you got zero safety help. This is what I keep talking about all week, where it's not just, hey, the corners aren't playing their best, which is true. This is true. They're not playing their best, most aggressive for full games, but the rest of the defense and Chris Shula's play call, it has been putting the defenders in a bad position in some instances. So that's just one play. Second play, this is the first touchdown. This is right after the Matthew Stafford interception. Aiden Hutchinson, Lions get down in really good position. 1st and 10 from their own 17. This ends up being the touchdown over the top, beating, I believe, Kobe Durant on the top side. Let's just run through it real quick. I'll show you kind of what I'm seeing. I mean, easy. When you have a coverage breakdown, very easy. I don't think this is on Kobe Durant. To an extent, yes. What am I seeing here? All right. Really good. I think this is a cover 3 beater, which can technically work against cover 6. Cover 3, and this is where I mess up sometimes when I am watching these tapes. I think it is more of a cover 6, a quarter, half. Remember, if you break the field down into vertical areas, if this was half, this is one side, this is the other, that's where you'll get like cover 2, right? Now, quarter, half, which I think it is, break it in half. This guy's got this whole half of the field, right? One half. And then you got to break it down into quarters now. Now, he's got a quarter of deep. He's got a quarter deep, right? If you understand that already, sorry. Like to break it down for other people. The Rams are only going to rush 3. I don't know if it's by design or just by, hey, Jared Verse gets chipped down here at the bottom for you to see. Jared Verse gets chipped. And I'm going to assume a tight end is not going to overpower him and force him back because he realizes he's too late to the pass rush, but he's dropping in coverage. So the Rams are dropping 8. They're not really worried about getting to Jared Goff here. I think they're anticipating drop 8, force an interception because they're probably going to go for a deep shot. The problem here, you're going to get this route here. He's going to run over the middle. J-Mo's going to sit right here, more at like the 5-yard line. Boom. He's going to sit right here. Amon-Ra is going to run the skinny post right over the top. And it's a perfect play call. What the Rams sit in, Jared Verse drops this way. Emmanuel Forbes is kind of watching over the middle. So, hey, he's got this area. Lamon and Spates kind of covering over the middle here. And then Byron Young is going to take the flat. He's going to pick up Jahmyr Gibbs coming on the flat this way. The safeties. Again, a lot of miscommunication. It wasn't just a lack of pass rush, but they fucked up. Both of these guys lock onto Jameson Williams, leaving Durant all by himself on this route here. So, boom. Freeze here. plants. They both squeeze down. It should not be this way. Only one of them should be. Either one can take him. You've got Omar Speights underneath that should be making this a high pass, making it hard for Jared Goff right here, right? He's close enough. Even if Cam Curl comes late here, he should be sitting back to help over the top because he's got outside leverage. The second someone breaks inside like this, he's beat. There's nothing you can do. Like, you better hope you're fucking Darrelle Revis at that point, which is what happens up top. Boom. As long as it's a great pass, which it is, he can't get there. Just based on what the play call is, Kobe Durant had no chance. What I think should have happened, like I said, he's supposed to sit back. Even if they fuck up or he takes them and Cam Curl reacts fast enough and he's able to help out over top, maybe if he's full sprint, he can get there, but I don't think so. This one is on, I believe that's Tank McCullough right here, which not really his strong suit. I think he plays better in the slot down in the box. Now you're having him play deeper because of Quentin Lake being out. And this is something a lot of us said where Quentin Lake, they're going to feel the impact of it, and they have so far. So I don't want to sit here and blame the cornerback only when just based on what the play call is, he's out of position. Again, this looks like a quarter half. This route was ran to perfection. Gets them all out of... Yeah. And that happens sometimes. I don't know what to tell you guys. Some of you get mad at me in my comments and tell me like, oh, I need to be more critical of the team. I'm being critical of the play calling. The players, sometimes there truly is nothing you can do. There's no defense for a perfect pass sometimes. Sometimes you catch the defense slipping that their play call versus your offensive play call. It's just a perfect thing. Like, hey, as long as we throw the ball right, as long as you're in the right spot, there's nothing the defense can do. This one is on Shula. And since you want that critical portion, Tank McCullough. He fell for the bait. He fell for the bait right here. He should not be planning. He should be trailing back a little bit and making Jared Goff hold this ball. Him just sitting back and trailing a little bit would make Jared Goff hold it. Like, okay, it's not open. Now maybe he's just throwing it underneath or he's holding it and waiting for someone to get open afterwards or getting sacked. So, yeah. Blame Shula. Blame Tank McCullough on that play, not the cornerback. All right, let's go through two more defensive plays. Play 3 here. This one is a critical down. Rams tied it up into the first quarter. 3rd and 8. You want to get a stop here to try to get that momentum back, man. And they just couldn't until that second half. Not for lack of trying, though. This play ends up getting made because the offensive line held up. Jared Goff stayed poised. And again, good play call. Found the weak spot and made a perfect pass. Here we go. This is going to be a 25-yard catch and run to Jameson Williams over the top there. Little outstretched arm for the Selly. What happens here? Who's to blame? Who was at fault? Let's find out. Rams do something a little bit weird here. They're going to actually blitz corner. Emmanuel Forbes is going to blitz this way, dropping Byron Young into the hook curl zone. And then these guys are going to rotate into kind of like a cover 2. He's going to rotate down here to this area. Kinchins is going to have this deep half. He's going to bail out deep. So let's redo this. He's out here. He's going deep. This way, rotating down. And he's kind of got like this flat area. And then you got some guys hanging out like in the middle, right? Got a guy hanging out in the middle. Him and I think Lamb ended up backing out as well. So, but when it's all said and done, by the time they rotate, you should have deep guy, this deep zone, flat covered, and at least 2 guys over the middle here, which leaves, unfortunately, which areas on the field stay open. I'll do it in squares. This area of the field, this area of the field, and sometimes right over the middle. Those are your sweet spots, especially on 3rd and 8. They end up running a little bit deeper. Boom. Sticks are right here. They're covered. Yeah, guys all littered all around there. Jameson Williams runs a really good route. To beat this with the lines that I'm running, this guy's clearing everything the fuck out. Amon-Ra is going to run underneath here. And then Jameson Williams is going to run. Ends up being kind of like a curl into this area, right in that sweet spot, like I told you. The blitz doesn't get there. They only bring 4. Yeah, just brutal. Again, another situation where combination of lack of pass rush, right? Only bringing 4. Them waiting for pass maybe. Oline just holding up. You got 3 guys covering Braden Fisk. Jared Verse is a non-factor, and then he's getting carried out here. Their offensive line blocked it really, really damn well on this play. And then just the concept itself. If you want to get to this sweet spot out here, how do you do that? You need to pull the safety out, which ends up being this guy. You need to get him out of the way, and you need something to hold whoever's going to be underneath here, which is Byron Young. Something to hold him shallow enough, and he does that with, I think the drag route gets him. Yeah. He sees the drag route here. He breaks, pumps this way. Right over the top of him. No one there. So, even if it's not a bad play call by Shula, let's say I'm wrong. Communication. You got Josh Wallace out here. Detroit Lions were picking on certain guys. This concept here, having this guy run deep, pick on Wallace. He's out of the way. Now, eliminate him, pretend he's not here. There's absolutely no one out here, right? Hell, the Rams are lucky that they only ran a curl route. Can you imagine Jameson Williams just running a streak? This is a 70-yard touchdown. Thank God they get the tackle on it. Yeah, so you see a lot of this. It's just brutal on a 3rd down. Thank God they changed things in the second half. Play 4 on the defensive watch. This is the 2nd touchdown this will be the 3rd touchdown, right? Yeah, 3rd touchdown. This is over the top to Jameson Williams. It's going to be a very quick one. After I show you exactly what happens and I break it down, you'll see why. Here we go. 4-man rush. Slight pressure in the pocket, and then just well-ran route. Perfect concept. Well-placed ball. Nothing you can do there. What happens on this play? What if I told you the exact same fucking thing that happened on the 1st touchdown? Maddening. So if you ever get mad on Sundays where you're like, why don't they call something different? Like, it's not working. That's how I felt Sunday. When you're watching like the quarters, the quarter half shit, when your pressure's not getting there, like, and this is right before halftime. Like, you have enough that you're seeing that, like, hey, you're not stopping any pass. Stop with this bullshit. If you're gonna get gashed, fucking send a 5th guy then. Like, if you're gonna give stuff up, like, the bend but don't break works when you're not facing those really good offenses that will abuse your tendencies. The Lions, give them credit, they found the fucking tendency. Rams did it again. Quarter, half. Half the field, he's got half of it. Break it into quarters now. He's going to have deep quarter. He's going to have deep quarter. Again, they're only going to bring 4. What the Lions do, it's the same fucking thing. But instead, they just flipped it. Instead of Amon-Ra St. Brown running it, the deep post, now Amon-Ra's in the slot. He's going to run like this little button curl here. And then Jameson Williams is going to run the skinny post. Why does it work? Because this guy, Durant, let me move my face here out the way for you guys. Durant has quarter, half, right? He's got, I think his boundary will be like, hey, just a hair inside the numbers, like about right here. Everything on this side is yours. So, to help himself, he's going to open up this way, giving up anything inside, which is right here, because he's anticipating he's got help deep, which he's supposed to. But when he watches Amon-Ra St. Brown, Cam Kitchens gets got. When he sits right here, he breaks on that, leaving nobody out this way. Kobe Durant, he's not a mind reader. You can only play hoping that your teammates are doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's how good defenses work, when you have full trust that, like, hey, if I do my job, you're going to do your job. But the second one guy doesn't do his job, all hell can break loose, which is what happens. There's an infinite freaking void out here. And he's just too fast. Like, he's too fast to do that. You know, I like the idea of quarter, half, rotating, throwing in some fire zone blitzes. But when it's abused by this concept here, and I don't know if because this is now two different safeties. Earlier it was Tank McCullough, now it's Cam Kinchins, who is used to playing deeper. This is a schematic thing. For them, it's trust your eyes, and or a miscommunication between these guys, the safeties, and the linebackers. Because in a perfect world, I'm thinking that one of these guys should be able to be underneath this. But to add value to what Dan Campbell and the Lions were doing, the fear from Cam Kinchins is that because of these routes right here, potentially, I hate when I say this, sucking in linebackers to step up, which will maybe open up this guy. So he steps up here, he sees most dangerous, and it's do or die at that point. Perfect concept, because even if Cam Kinchins goes back, Monroe St. Brown's wide open over the middle, and they keep driving, obviously. So it's not to defend anyone. I think it's just to add a little bit of context, a little bit of nuance, that the problems in the secondary, I think, are more of a schematic issue and a rules issue. A little bit of communication as well. They're missing Quentin Lake. I feel like guys are a little bit unsure in certain situations on trusting one another and passing off certain routes and coverage, and a little bit more on Shula than just purely out of the corner suck. It's not that. They're extremely freaking talented. They've won games and closed out games multiple times this season. They didn't just stop learning how to play. Teams adjust. There's enough film on the Rams defense where they learn tendencies, and the Lions are a very good offense, so they exposed those. Now it's up to the Rams to adjust, because despite how much we make fun of Sam Darnold and the Seahawks and hate them, they're well coached, and they're going to find those tendencies and try to nitpick at them as well. So that's what I got for you on the defensive side. But you know who else is very good of an offense? It's the fucking Los Angeles Rams with an MVP quarterback. I'm not going to go into another rant. You can go on my socials and see every rant imaginable that Matthew Stafford is the MVP. So let's just look at the film. I got some plays to glaze Matthew Stafford even further, and shout out the offensive line again. So let's switch over to the offense. First play of the offense. Of course, we got 13 personnel. For those who are late to the party or just not understanding when everyone's clamoring about the Rams and 13 personnel, remember, 13 personnel. The 1 stands for 1 running back. The 3 stands for 3 tight ends, because we got 1, 2, 3 tight ends. Who was the best one? I say it's Colby Parkinson. But yeah, I don't know how the Rams are calling these plays. I truly do think, because when I look at Stafford getting play calls in, I think he's getting 2, and then based on what the opposing defense comes out in, if they're coming in a heavier package, lighter package, if they're coming out with multiple linebackers versus like a nickel or a dime, like the Rams run a lot, Stafford's going to check out the line, light box. If he likes it, we're going to keep the run. They're going to come out with multiple linebackers like the Lions do. Rams tight ends are dynamic enough where, hey, send these motherfuckers out in routes. I'm going to run play action. If my number 1 receiver don't get open, I got a check down right here. I got a big-ass athletic tight end in Ferguson running out here. But number 1 option, first and foremost, is going to be Devontae with another post corner up top, abusing this DB here. So, run the play. Enough yapping. Play action, max protect. He's only got 2 routes. Kyron Williams is a check down as the 3rd route. Tay gets easily open. Bad ball, in my opinion. Put it outside. Make it easier for your guy. Why strain the hamstrings even further? But phenomenal route and catch by Tay. Getting up past the age of 30. Dude, if you're over the age of 30 and you're watching this, you hurt watching him jump and land like that. Shout out to the offensive line, though. You're going to get Davis Allen on a wham block, helping seal the middle a little bit. Like I said, Ferguson's running this deep one. It's really just one-on-one. This is what's helping the 13 personnel work so well. My argument for Matthew Stafford for MVP is the high efficiency rate that he runs out of play action under center out of 13 personnel. Like, turning your back to a defense for, let's count it, 1,000, like a second and a half, and then turning around and being like, all right, I'm going to dice up someone is insane to me. Play action is harder than people realize. But yeah, this is just a simple throw and catch. I just wanted to glaze it a little bit for personnel purposes. And this is what the Rams might miss on Thursday. You're hoping Konate Mumfield can do things like this. I've seen him run routes in person. Very, very good. This might be Puka now. This might be Konate Mumfield. This might be Jordan Whittington. But someone out there has to win these one-on-ones. That's what helps make this 13 personnel go. The problem a lot of teams are having going against the Rams 13 personnel, move my face here again, is the success of the run in recent weeks. It's nice. It's cool having, Matthew Stafford dime people up. We all know Puka and Devontae. But this offensive line, man, this rep, I can't find a single thing wrong with this play. Teach tape. All across the board. Not even Kyron's a problem here. That's just a good tackle. Grabs. That's the only way you can tackle someone because he connects with his face on the stiff arm. Grabs jersey, holds onto the arm, and just rips him down body weight. That is lucky because that's going for 6. Now, how does this end up working? Football's a game of inches and a little bit of luck as well. Right before the snap, you're going to watch Anzalone. This guy here, that's Anzalone, right? Yeah, Anzalone is actually going to jump sideways like he's blitzing from this angle here, working in the Rams' favor since they're running left anyways. One that I'm confused by, I don't know if this is a little twist to this play, but everything else is according to plan. You got outside block here by Davis Allen. These two are going to work this side. Campbell is going to try to cut off here. McClendon does such a good job walling this part off. This whole cluster is just blocked off here. The part where I'm a little confused by if it's a different wrinkle or just it worked out that way, because this defensive lineman tries to cut Kevin Dotson. Dotson just absorbs him, blocks him off. Coleman Shelton. In my pre-snap judgment, I'm assuming this is going to be a double team and then Dotson probably releases this way. That's just what I'm assuming. But what he actually does, again, I don't know if it's just because of circumstance, this guy tries to cut, Dotson just falls on him. Coleman Shelton is athletic enough where he gets around. Now he's the lead blocker. Watch this. Oop, gets around. Finds someone, puts enough on 27 or on 29 to keep him off Kyron. Because this is maybe like a 5-yard game if he makes that tackle, but Coleman Shelton gets enough of him where he's grasping at air. Kyron doesn't get touched until that tackle. Really good job by Dotson here. Hey, this guy's going to go for your knees. All right, I'm falling on you. You're no longer in the play. And if anything, I'm helping my guys because who's this? Avila's block, 54 here. He's going to try his best to work down. Avila's trying to get in front, and he does without holding. Hey, get your hand here. Don't hold the back. Just work them. Just stay in the way. And because there's bodies here, this whole part is walled off now. Ooh, getting a call. Delete that last part. Where was I before I was rudely interrupted? Yeah, man, just a beautiful play all around. I have no notes for this. Hopefully they can carry this into Seattle. Next offensive play. More 13 personnel. 1, 2, 3 tight ends. This time you got old Pookie Bear up top here. It's not Adams running the routes. So this is where they're able to confuse defenses, mix up tendencies. Like, hey, if Puka's in, that's an extra tight end. They're probably going to run. This is 1st and 10. So it could be anything. It could be run. It could be pass. You're going to get a play action here to Kyron. Kyron's going to help with the protection because the Lions are going to bring 5. They're like, all right, you're going to come out and potentially max protection in case you're going to pass the ball. They're going to bring 5. Offensive line does a phenomenal job here. Look at this. You got that double team locked up. This double team locked up. Alaric is one-on-one with Aiden. He's good. Avalo's one-on-one with his guy. He's good. Kobe Parkinson punched his guy a little bit. Now he's going to release. Ferguson is running what's supposed to be like a crossing route. He ends up falling, so he's out. And then Pookie Bear. Pookie Bear is where this play happens. Motion. He's going to run like this kind of out and up. And I love the way they run routes. What helps them get open is sometimes it's not always like the hard cuts that gets people. It's just playing with angles and it's playing with momentum and attacking leverage. Here you go. Break. Get him to plant and turn this way. And then once he's taken that crossover step, now you're planting your foot because just physics, he no longer can catch up. His feet are all tangled where even somebody like Puka, who's not the fastest in the world, can now get stacked on top of him and get that game speed out and running. And then this is where my argument for Matthew Stafford for MVP rears its head again. Because I'm sorry, this is not a floater of a pass. This is, as Tom Brady put it, a damn piss missile. If you don't know what a piss missile is, I don't really know where that phrase came from either. You just kind of know it when you hear it. It's an absolute line drive of a pass. It's like no air. It's just full arm strength. Let's watch the arm strength on this pass. Zip. And then where Puka catches it right over his head in stride. That's stupid. The arm strength of a 37-year-old. He's throwing that from the 30. No, what is that? The 42? Let's say the 44. 44. Ball's caught at the 15. 30-yard line. Oh, no. Right? 10, 20, 30, 40. Like a 40-yard line drive pass. That's ridiculous. Like, that's hard as fuck to do. I don't know if you've ever thrown a football. It's ridiculous. And somehow it does, like, I think he should have scored on this one. Like, come on, man. Keep your balance inside. There's not a lot of quarterbacks making that throw after a play action. We're just going to run through here. There's not a lot to really say, except it's ridiculous. But I do want to shout out, though, what Stafford does. I almost forgot. This play gets made with his eyes again. Can't trust his eyes. You got one single safety out here. So he's staring him down the whole time. I'm going to make you react because he knows what he's got. He's just buying time for Puka to run this route. So here you go. Look, gives a quick look this way. Now he's staring right at him again. Itch. This guy is just out of position. There's nothing he can do. Launches it. So there's a lot of that happens that, despite other guys being NFL quarterbacks, they just can't do or don't do with the regularity that Stafford has been doing this season. Boss. Next play. More offensive line and talking about Sean McVay. This play here, this is Kyron Williams' first rushing touchdown. And somebody had commented at me when they were arguing with me about Matthew Stafford's not an MVP. Talking about how last year, like, all right, the red zone offense wasn't as good. So is it safe to say that Matthew Stafford is to blame for that? And I'd say, yeah, because he wasn't as sharp. There was missed passes. Some of the concepts weren't there. And then 13 personnel was not a revelation as it was this year. So that all plays into it. One of them, like this lineup right here, is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Okay. We all know Davante Adams has been damn near automatic down here in the red zone. That's not just him being elite. That's Matthew Stafford's connection with him and the passes being accurate and them being an absolute fucking problem to the point where he is 3 yards away from getting Megatron, Calvin Johnson treatment at the goal line. Look at Davante Adams. He's bracketed. He's getting double covered at the line. This guy is here for Davante Adams. There's no other threat out here. There's no one out here. He's there for Davante. So when the Rams go in motion, you see the communication between him and him trying to point at someone this way, like, hey, because he doesn't want to leave to help out here. And I love this scheme, and this is why 13 personnel is giving people so many problems even outside the red zone. So what they want here, they want this guy to be able to have inside leverage here, so in case Davante wants to run a slant, it's covered. So that way, this guy can play outside leverage and cover like a fade route, right? Now, with the Rams putting Davis Allen in motion here, it fucks that up a little bit. It just makes you second guess for a split second if you're a defender. Because now he's got to shade in just a little bit because of his own rules. Because now, what if Davis Allen runs a flat? Now, what if they run off tackle here? It puts this guy in a bind. Right? But then also, it might make these guys think that you just motioned him over here because you want to run this way. Because now you got one less guy out here. But in this case, they're taking advantage of the fact that they got one less guy inside the box because they're so worried about Davante Adams. They don't have an extra linebacker out here. Instead, they got a guy out here playing outside leverage. Linemen are going to do their thing. So just from a positional standpoint, conceptual standpoint, I don't know why I'm trying to use big words like I'm smart. Sean McVay is literally putting the Rams in the best position to succeed, like he talks about all the. Now let's shout out to the O-line on here. Let's look at some of these blocks that work. It's just pure great communication across the board from these guys, man. Let's take a look. Boom, a good double team. Worked on the next guy. Double team. Worked on the next guy. Kevin Dotson's guy almost gets in the backfield. What happens there? He works through. Dotson's got to hold his ground a little bit better. But all these double teams work really damn well. Dotson and Shelton are going to double this guy. And then Shelton's going to work up to Anzalone. Avila and Jackson are going to double team 54. And then he's going to work up to whoever is the next dangerous guy up here. And Kyron's going to fit right inside here. Kevin Dotson needs to hold his ground on 98 because this guy splits and almost gets into the backfield here. Oh, there we go. That's who he double teams. Jackson's going to double team Anzalone, and then Shelton's going to double team that guy. But just watch the pass off here. Boom. Shoosh. Shoosh. Now it's still wrong. They both double team Anzalone at one point. But just looking at right here, they have no chance. Because this guy is split out all the way out here. What if they had another linebacker right here? Maybe he's pressuring right up in this gap. Maybe this double team doesn't work as well. And then shout out to Davis Allen, man. Like, I know he's not getting the same catches and attention as Kobe Parkinson right now, but watching this rep, him versus an edge, that is 96. That's Al-Qadim Muhammad, who's having a great year. I think he's their sack leader right now. Watch him just body him up. Boom. Davis Allen is as responsible for that play as any of the other linemen. taking his inside shoulder, taking away any ability for him to even get an arm. Damn near walking. I don't know if 98 touched him, but damn near walking. That's just fucking, hey, I'm better than you. We're schemed better than you, and we're stronger than you. Love that. Going back a little bit, because I forgot I missed this play. More scheme-induced touchdown. This shit is hilarious. 13 personnel again. Let's run it back. This is Kyron's first touchdown. Let's see where Puka starts. Puka starts pretty normal. This is why we talk about, like, hey, he's kind of a tight end too, because, I mean, he'll get up in there. He'll block linebackers. He'll block edges. They're going to motion him into the backfield. So this is just all kinds of fucking weird. The Rams goal line package is so fun to watch. Puka is going to run into the flat. And I want you to watch how many defenders follow Puka when they run this play. Snap. 1, 2, and 3. At least 3 guys are so worried about Puka that they just completely give up on the run. I love it. Yeah, phenomenal. And it walks right in. And then let's look at the end zone cam so we can see how it's blocked phenomenally by this offensive line. Let me see here. Single. Man, they just kind of wedge it up. Oh, like a turnstile. Watch Steve here. So Steve and Alaric are going to double team the down lineman right here. And then watch Steve just turn his back to the hole. So this is the hole right here they end up going through. This is the lane. Steve's going to turn this way. So his back is right here forming a wall. Watch. They just say, get the fuck out of the way. I love this, man. It's a design cutback. You're going to get, hey, block this guy here. Block this guy here. Double, wall this off. And then you're hoping with this guy pulling him out, with Davis Allen winding down this way, sealing off. I know this is all messy. I'm very sorry. We'll try this again. Sorry, guys. Double team. Whoop. Zoop. And whoppa. That leaves, hey, this is the design lane right here. Kyron's going to step here, cut back into it this way. Zoop. Untouched because they're playing numbers. No linebacker help whatsoever. All the movement, it fucks with their assignments and their eyes. It tricks their eyes because now he's worried about, he's looking this way like, okay, who's over there? If he comes across, that's his responsibility. And he does. Boom. Because Davis Allen's going across the formation. Now he's got to sift down this way. He's moving down this way. He's moving down this way. All because of Puka. Put your dangerous guy back there, give him eye candy, and then just fucking run it down their throat. What? Hey, after the play, watch him. This is exactly how they should be reacting. Watch him right here. Man. Love it. I just wanted to show off more of the 13 personnel. All right, focusing on Matthew Stafford. When it comes down to it, you can't win a Super Bowl unless you've got one guy back there slinging the pill that is going to just, when it comes down to it, backs against the wall. I need you just to take a snap and just sling it and go win the game for us. This drive was mad important. At this point, Rams are moving the ball. They're not stopping anything on defense yet. Defense is playing better at this point in the third quarter. 3rd and 3. 4:37 o'clock, third quarter. Rams are down 24-20. This is a critical point. Like, you got to start getting ahead, man. Like, you can't sit here and just not score points and keep up with these Detroit Lions despite your defense playing better. You need your quarterback to step up, be like, all right, I'm going to take over for a little bit. Let's go get some fucking points, especially on a 3rd and 3. And that is why Matthew Stafford is playing like an MVP. All right, what do you got here? You got Konate Mumfield. He's going to run a quick jab slant here. Adams is going to run his little dig over the middle. Puka's going to run a crosser. Down here at the bottom, you're going to get a deep out. Quick flat by Kyron. All you need is like, hey, give me 2 seconds. Give me 3 seconds if you're Matthew Stafford. Give me a pocket. I'll make this shit happen. And that's exactly what happens here. This is the first catch Adams has in the second half. Not even his first read at all. 3rd and 3, he's looking left. Initially, he's looking at this out and this out. He wants one of those two. He wants that matchup. But based on time, he's got enough time, but you're not going to get infinite time back here in the pocket. He's got to move over to his other guys. And this is what they brought Devontae in here for, man. You just need a guy to beat your man. This is a mismatch. 23 is Rock Ya-Sin, former Las Vegas Raider. He's good. He's a good starter. He gets over here late. Right here off his first move, he's already lost. Without even knowing what Davante Adams' route is, you're giving them everything to your back. So if this is your back is facing this way, everything out here is now open for Davante Adams because he's going to fuck with your leverage. So I'll run the play. He's running this way. He doesn't even have eyes on Davante Adams anymore. We're talking about right here. Davante's just going to break on him. Yeesh. Just wide open. Very good. Very critical. Very good pass. More Matthew Stafford. Same drive. Just a few plays later. 3:15 on the clock. 2nd and 4 to come out in 13 personnel. This is Terrence Ferguson down here at the tight end. You're going to get a play action and then a pass over the middle. Davante Adams wide open. This play is set up because 13 personnel is working. It's getting good runs. It's a chicken or the egg situation. Don't let anybody online or on TV tell you that Matthew Stafford is only playing well because he's benefiting from a run game. It's not how football works. Football doesn't work because your run game's good, now you're a good quarterback. And it doesn't work vice versa either only. The run game is not only working because Matthew Stafford is so great of a quarterback. It's both. They're both true. Like they both go hand in hand. Anytime you hear McVay talk about the marriage between a run and pass, this is what he's talking about. I'm going to throw shit at you. You don't know if it's the same play. Am I running it or am I throwing it? Everything looks the same because both sides of the offense are working as they should, as intended. Now, what we get here, you're going to get play action, like I said. Davis Allen's actually going to leak through the B gap here and run it out. Ferguson going to run deep, and then you got Adams with his patented I'm running a dig at 15 yards right here. Matthew Stafford is going to turn his back for almost 2 seconds to the defense. 1,001, 1,002. Here he is. Hold safeties. And you get a cover 3 beater. Looked like it might have been cover 3. Yeah, should be like a cover 3. I love this because Davis Allen, his route pulls this safety down. It holds him here to open up this lane because how these guys are going to rotate. He's got deep third. He's got deep third. The way he opens up his break makes it easier for Adams. So he opens up here. Same way we were talking about Durant earlier, giving up the inside. He's giving up the inside because he's got his deep third out here. He's more worried about not giving up the outside because he thinks I've got help over the middle for anything this way. But because Davis Allen's route right here is going to freeze this guy from going towards the middle like he probably wants to, this route forces him to stay here. Matthew Stafford's eyes, I think, freezes Anzalone from going deeper a little bit. Yeah, he does. Film doesn't lie, man. Do you think If Matthew Stafford was staring at this spot on the field right here, Matthew Stafford, do you think this linebacker would be stepping this way, even marginally? No, he'd be stepping backwards. Watch this. Stepping out, passes behind him. Stafford keeps doing this. This is why I'm telling you, don't listen to anybody online. Even the guys on TV are not explaining how well Stafford is playing enough. It's not truly like a no look, but he's fucking with you. He's fucking with Anzalone right here. Because he's the only one that he can undercut it and tip the ball, maybe intercept it. Right here. His head's more turned this way. So that's why this guy's stepping here. Because all he needs is an extra yard. Think about it, man. If this guy sits right here, or even takes one step back, look at where the pass goes. You might have a chance at it. Unreal. 13 personnel, and the mastery that Matthew Stafford is running it is getting scarier, and you're not prepared for it. Look at this formation. When you see this, what do you expect? What is your first thought? You're like, okay, he's in shotgun formation. He's got his receivers out wide. They're in 13 personnel. They're so confident because they're just more about the matchups and confident in the placement of the ball and the route by Stafford and the route running of these tight ends because they're playing at such a high level right now. Parkinson is split out wide. They didn't break. They didn't motion to this. They're coming out and empty. Damn near. Yeah, Davis Allen in the slot. Terrence Ferguson down here. Kobe Parkinson split out wide, and then Puka's in the slot. This is Puka right here. And there's no tricks here. It's just we're gonna line up in gun in a 2x2 formation, and I'm gonna throw a fade ball to my tight end against your corner, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think what happens here, who's this number 2, number 12? I don't know who the corner is out here. This is a safety, Daniel Thomas. I think he's just not expecting Kobe Parkinson to run a fade because on the snap, plays inside, and he's late to the party. He wasn't expecting something inside because, yeah, it's Kobe Parkinson. Like, there's no film on him running a deep route and there being an actual threat of it. He's expecting like a slant, a stop, something inside. Look at this. He just gives up the outside completely. So that gives Kobe Parkinson even a hair of a head start on his sprint. He even has Puka open here too. I don't know what these guys are doing, dicking around down here. Good protection. Only needed to hold for like a second, and then Puka runs a slant. Puka's open as well right here. And then just a well-placed ball. Now, as someone who was there at SoFi, because I have seen a lot of commentary on this, on people confused, whether the Lions fans or just non-Rams fans or haters, it was a catch, and it was a touchdown. The screen grabs that you're seeing on Twitter, where they're pausing it because it looks like the ball hit the ground, the side angle, it's the Lions defender's forearm. The ball never hit the ground. Being at SoFi, they showed the angle from the back of the end zone, looking straight at them, where you can see his hands and one of Thomas's hands underneath the ball the whole time. It juggles around, and he never fully comes to the completion until they're both in the end zone. It's a touchdown. So he wasn't down at the one. Like, even if you want to play with that narrative, okay, Kyron Williams gets his third rushing touchdown from the goal line. Because in what world were the Lions stopping anything at the goal line? So don't listen to that bullshit. It's just a lot of hate, honestly, coming from online. Let's look at the O-line just really quickly. Picking up the blitz. Decent enough. A little bit late on the stunt pickup. Actually, not a great rep. Not a great rep from the O-line. You're going to get, obviously, he's got outside contain. He's going to boom and swim inside. And I think you're going to get across. Ooh, that's a cool stunt. He's going to take Jackson. 98 is going to try to just penetrate this gap here and hold these two. And then really late, 92 is going to twist over. And then Anzalone is going to twist this way. It's a great play. 92 gets free. Shelton's late to it. What you'd like to see is better communication from these two. Just stay home at that point. Boom. But Stafford luckily made the right choice. Took the quick throw. Beat the blitz. Like, all right, man, you're going to blitz me. I'm just going to throw it over the top. Either it's an incompletion, but no sack on first down. Capitalize on the blitzing defense. All right, 2 more plays. One more Matthew Stafford and then one more about 13 personnel that I really like what I'm seeing. The next evolution of it. So this is right before halftime. This is like go steal a possession. You're down by 10. Coming out of halftime, the game looks much different. If you're down by 10, let's get in field goal range, right? Really hard to do. 18 seconds left. I don't know if they have any timeouts left. But just great route, great throw, great call by McVay. Puka up top is the recipient. He's going to run like the stutter kind of and go. This DB is going to fall on his ass, run the play, and then kind of show you what Stafford does here. Great play. I'm going to go to end zone cam. Not really going to break down everybody. Just more so Stafford. He's going to hold this safety. I'll go back to the sideline cam in a second. But from here, I want you to watch where Stafford's head is until he throws. Here we go. Staring down the middle. Looking right. Looking left. And then boom. A little bit easier of a catch because that DB fell. You know, whether it's luck, whether that's because of how good the route was, wherever the case may be. But this defense, man, this is your problem guy right here. This is your problem child. If you give away too quickly where you're going to go, he's going to be all over it. Kind of maybe gets a pick. These guys are more so playing the sticks, playing kind of like a underneath cover 2 type deal. And then kind of, hey, stay sticky with your guy. Don't let him go. What Matthew Stafford does, staring this direction, staring down the middle, everywhere but Puka until he's ready to throw, keeps this guy away from that sideline. Takes him out of the play. So let's run it. Let's watch the safety. Safety's playing midfield here because he doesn't know where Stafford's going. Even takes a step to his right. Even takes a quick step because he thinks, oh shit, it might go that way. Got him. That's all he needs. Right there, you're done. Your feet are planted. You're going the wrong way. That's too much ground to cover. The ball is coming out here. You're not going to get there. If this guy doesn't fall, this is one of those Puka contested catches where he's like late handing it maybe right over the side of the guy's head. It's harder of a catch. Probably still completed because of the placement of it. It's high and outside. This situation, his head is probably facing Puka. His back is to Stafford. He never sees the ball coming. His hands are late. See it all the time. Love it. Get yourself in position. Go potentially, take 2 shots at the end zone and then get a field goal. Walk away from it. I mean, what more can I say, man? Like, 18 seconds left. You get yourself down to field goal range on a big pass when they're trying to prevent this kind of play. Goated. Last play. This is a doubleheader. You got Matthew Stafford, hype, and you got 13 personnel evolution. We're used to seeing, okay, Puka's in the backfield. Puka's an extra tight end. They're motioning, hey, Parkinson's outside by himself, and it's a stacked box. No one's talking about the fact that now the Rams are so confident in their offense operating well with 3 tight ends on the field. They're coming out in gun spread formations. We showed it earlier, but that was more of like a nuance, like a quick tap and go. late in third quarter, critical down again, 1st and 10, you're up by 3, you got a little bit of momentum, you're trying to capitalize on it, and so you dial up this sweet play to Puka. It's mind blowing to me that in the midst of an important game, you're out here tight end again, full pass mode, and not short either. You remember this play? Big Puka play over the middle. Like, okay, you can sit here and tell me, oh, it's Puka. Yeah, of course Puka's open. He's the only wide receiver on the field. If he's that good and that important, and it's only tight ends on the field, then fucking double cover him then. Why is he so open? Why are the other tight ends such a threat? Oh, I wonder who the quarterback is. I wonder if he's so good where he elevates all play from other people. See, I'm going on the Matthew Stafford rant again. You get a nice seam over the middle, beating the cover 2. Yeah, this ends up being a cover 2 look. So what the defense does, he's playing deep. He's trailing a little bit, but he's playing the zone. He's got underneath zone. And then you got this guy underneath, this guy underneath, this guy underneath. And then once again, Stafford plays with this outside backer, this hook crow guy. Right before he throws, again, his head is more looking this direction, forcing Anzalone to take a step this way when he throws. Not a step, but he pauses. Freezes right here because he doesn't know where the ball is going. Eyes are looking this way, but then the ball is coming this way. Incredible there. Routes you get, he's going deep. Same. He goes deep at the bottom, right? Yeah, deep at the bottom. And then he's kind of coming over the middle to try to hold these guys here. So Davis Allen's route is meant to either hold these guys, or in this case, he jets out this way, so he's out of the picture. Stafford's job is this guy. He holds him here, so he's out of the picture. Now, you're just hoping Puka Nacua is going to run his route and not take it too high. Because if he goes too high, downfield, he plays right into where the safety is. And if he goes too flat, he's covering himself by that linebacker. Stafford's efforts are dead. So he's got to bend it just enough and gear down. Slow down and not go full speed to sit in this nice little crevice right there. Boom. I just think it's incredible. One incredible throw. Perfect accuracy. Hits him in stride. Great route. But I want you to understand, like, the evolution that this 13 personnel continues to take. I didn't think they'd be able to get to this part of it where they're in gun spread and they're willing to take shots downfield and over the middle at the intermediate 15-yard plus range without play action. Just out of gun, go sling the pill. Dude. And will not end without giving love to the offensive line, because all this is not possible without them. Because what the defense can do in a return is say, okay, you don't have speed out here to get open in time against corners. I'm going to put pressure on you and force you to throw it quickly. But they don't blitz. You do have great pass rush, though. This is Aiden Hutchinson on the edge here. He tries a jump step on McClendon. McClendon does a good job, rides him. He ends up falling at Stafford's feet. Great protection. And shout out to the running backs. Always willing to give good chips. No wasted reps. Corum comes up. It's not a big deal. It's not a big chip. It's not really like consequential in this play. But I just love how smart the running backs are. So right now 98 is taking this outside shoulder, right? Corum doesn't know if Avila is going to, recover well and take him. At this point, Avila's got full control of him. But to Corum, hey, he's getting outside. Let me reset this guy. Let me give him a little chip. Nothing hard. I'm just going to force him back inside to where Avila probably has better. But it actually hurts him because he gets free that way. Avila had it. But normally, hey, that's a good little help there. And then the communication between Dotson and Shelton. The switch off here. Dotson's going to initially have this guy. Shelton is going to look this way, work back to help Dotson, and then take over his guy. And then Dotson's going to look to make sure McLennan's got his guy. Watch this. Boom. Hand help. Nothing there. Not needed. Let me go help this guy. Punch to reset back to Coleman Shelton. And then eyes look this way. All right, cool. Let me make sure he's got it. And the play is 30 yards down the field, 40 yards down the field. What a menace. So, what did we learn today? Shula's got to be better. I don't know if they can make drastic changes through the playoffs. I just think it's more of a situational thing where you can't just sit back in quarters. Can't just sit back in quarter half. At the same time, trying to play run and have your pass rush kind of hold back a little bit like they did this last game and not give up a lot of yards. You're going to do that. You're hoping they're stopping them in the red zone, but they did not this game. Hopefully it's better moving forward. And in offense, Matthew Stafford is just on it right now. He's been on a season-long heater. 37 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Incredible. That's an MVP season because of the things that I've showed you on film and because of the evolution 13 personnel continues to take the next step. Like, what other team is just lining up in 13 personnel down the field all second half and saying you can't stop, run, or pass no matter what the formation is? So this is the best team in football in a lot of different ways. We're going to see it more tomorrow. Hopefully this plays out the same way Thursday. Drop a bird emoji if you made it to the end. Let me know you made it here in honor of facing the Seahawks. And as always, go Rams.